Welcome to Talk NBA, a channel where we talk about all things NBA related. So before I start the video, I'm going to give a quick introduction about what I'll be doing in this channel. And if you do not want to listen to this, you may skip forward to the time frame I mentioned below. So what is this channel? So I pretty much opened this channel because I love talking ball, whether it be talking with my brother, talking with friends. I just love talking about NBA topics, and especially being in the playoffs where we see teams being eliminated, teams disappointing us, and stuff like that. I decided I want to talk to a larger frame of audience about the things that I love. So some ideas that I had in mind while creating this channel. Well, first thing, I wanted to make videos outlooking every team's future. So how I'd be doing this is I'm gonna start with the teams that are already eliminated, and I'm going to be talking about the future outlook, what they should do this offseason and stuff like that. And every time a team gets eliminated in the playoffs, I'll try talking about them. I'll also be having some reaction videos. So I'd be watching, most of the time I watch all the games on that day. So I'd be giving reactions to each of the game, what I think was good about the game, what I think was bad. I'll also be reacting to the draft lottery that comes up, and I'll try to make a mock draft before the draft lottery odds and one after. So yeah, that's pretty much my channel. If you like to hear consistent NBA topics, NBA rumors, and news, subscribe and leave a like. Now, without further ado, let's get started with the video. So, as we all know, the Lakers have been through a very difficult season with many ups and downs, and they came into the season as championship favorites with their acquisition of the Sixth Man of the Year Montrezl Harrell and the runner-up Dennis Schroeder. Throughout the year, they also went to add Andre Drummond, beefing up their roster even more. But as we all know by now, they were eliminated in the first round by the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. Now yes, they battled injuries throughout the entire year, with LeBron only playing about 45 games and AD only playing 36 games. Plus, he missed crucial games in their series against the Suns. But fans are somewhat optimistic that the Lakers will be back next season and will be back to being championship favorites. But I myself, I don't really think it's as easy as it is said. The Lakers will be having many pending free agents, including Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, who is likely to opt out of his player option, Alex Caruso, Andre Drummond, and some more key role players like Taylor Horton-Tucker and guys like that. And it's almost impossible for the Lakers to bring back all these players, and the front office in LA, they need to go about free agency very carefully. Dennis Schroeder has been eyed by teams such as Miami Heat, and Montrezl Harrell has got traction from teams like Charlotte and Celtics, and I feel like these other teams might be able to outbid the Lakers in getting these guys. There are also reports stating that the Lakers are only interested in bringing back Drummond if he opts for a veterans minimum, and a lot of teams need a solid starting center. One team that comes to mind is the Charlotte Hornets, and I think the Charlotte Hornets will be a team that's willing to pay like $10 million or maybe even $12 million a year for Drummond. So the Lakers could get outbid on Drummond as well. So potentially losing all these players in free agency, along with LeBron not getting any younger and AD's atrocious injury history, the Lakers need to act smart and precisely to capitalize on winning at least one more championship in this LeBron era. So, what should the LA Lakers do? Well, for the past 2 years, after LeBron and AD, there hasn't been a clear next best player. So it's obvious they need to get that third star. Whether it be through free agency or through trades, the Lakers need to acquire a third star, because as of right now, LeBron and AD has too much pressure on them to handle the offensive side of things. So free agency might not be the best option, because if the Lakers do want to bring back some of their own free agents, they're not going to really have the cap space to go out and sign like a DeMar DeRozan or some guys like that. But if they do decide that they're going to go all in and try to get a guy like DeMar DeRozan, and like that means bringing back their own free agents. Is it really the best fit, DeMar DeRozan beside AD and Kawhi? I mean, AD and LeBron. And mentioning Kawhi, yes, Kawhi could be a free agent, but I doubt he'll choose the Lakers because he had the chance to choose the Lakers like 2 years ago and he didn't. Another free agent could be Kyle Lowry, but there were reports saying Kyle Lowry's looking up to $25 million a year, and teams like Miami or Philly might outbid the Lakers in this case as well. So I think the best way to land the third star is through the trade market, and that brings me to my next point. It might be time to give up on Kuzma. Now, I get it, Kuzma's trade value is at an all-time low, and it might be hard to trade him. But here are two trades that I think can actually work out for the Lakers. So on the screen, you'll see two trades. The first trade is a trade of Kuzma plus some other players for Kemba Walker. And by pursuing Kemba, you can relieve the playmaking and shot creation pressure off of LeBron. But pursuing a big like Horford allows AD to play at his natural position. And of course, the trade for Horford will only be under the speculation that Drummond decides to sign elsewhere. But like as you see, for the Celtics side of things, Celtics fans might be saying, "Oh, we're not getting the proper return," but no one really wants Kemba's contract, and you're like getting Kuzma. He's still a young forward who could give you scoring off the bench. So as Montrezl Harrell, he's a big that you guys desperately need. OKC's getting the picks, and I guess if you add picks to any deal, OKC would do it. So now, if Drummond, offer Drummond a mid-level exception, if he doesn't accept it, I don't think you guys should go all out to get Drummond. I'm pretty sure there are some other centers in the market that you could pursue that could give you at least 80% of what Drummond gives you. And I'll mention some of those centers later on in the video. So my third step for the Lakers to go back to championship land is they need to sign some decent role players to better their depth. So I believe re-signing Caruso to a 2-year, $16 million deal will be perfect because he fits beside LeBron and AD very well. He's a really good shooter. He's a good defender. He's a good two-way player. And you could also bring back guys like Morris and McLemore on veterans minimum, which would be solid moves to beef up their bench. The Lakers would probably lose Harrell or Schroeder. So in either case, signing up a backup center like Khem Birch will be a perfect replacement. And Khem Birch could also be a good replacement for Andre Drummond as well. And Lakers should maybe go out and try to sign a backup point guard like TJ McConnell. Some other notable role players the Lakers can try to get is Doug McDermott, and there has been reports suggesting the Lakers have been eyeing Doug McDermott. They could also go after Tim Hardaway Jr., although Tim Hardaway Jr. might be pretty pricey coming off of a very good playoff series. PJ Tucker is another guy that the Lakers could go after. And Spencer Dinwiddie. When it comes to free agent talks, a lot of people haven't even mentioned Spencer Dinwiddie, and that's because he's coming off an injury. But coming off that injury, his contract value will be really low, and I doubt Spencer Dinwiddie goes back to the Nets, where he's probably going to have to play behind Kyrie and Harden. So a team like the Lakers, where Spencer Dinwiddie could either start or lead the bench, would probably be one of the perfect situations for him because he also puts himself in a winning situation. So now the Lakers also need to assess THT's situation because I believe a team like the OKC Thunder or maybe Detroit, they might offer THT the bag. And I don't think the Lakers will overpay THT in that sense. If THT does get 15 million or close to 18 million, which apparently there were rumors that OKC will be willing to give, there's no way the Lakers are going to match that, and the Lakers could probably lose him as well. So the final thing the Lakers need to do, like it's not even an option, they need to do is extend Frank Vogel. He's a player's coach. The Lakers love him. And he brought the team to a championship in his first season. He helped make the Lakers the number one ranked defense in the NBA, despite LeBron and AD missing a handful of games. Now that's pretty impressive. And most importantly, it's important to have a coach that understands your star level players. So LeBron and AD has been successful under Frank Vogel because Frank Vogel developed a system that benefits LeBron and AD's playstyle. So in conclusion, this is what I believe the Lakers should do to get back on top. And even if the Lakers were to tie all their money into re-signing Dennis Schroeder and Harrell, which is highly unlikely, I don't think they'll get both of them back. I still think they lack the star power to compete for a championship. I don't know. I feel like Schroeder isn't the right player to put beside LeBron and AD. So like when you're assessing the Lakers' future, you have to also keep in mind LeBron's age, because right now is probably the only time you're going to have the championship window open when LeBron could still produce. And I think LeBron probably has a good 2 years left in him. Like, I think through these playoffs we've seen that LeBron's age is starting to take a toll on him. And you guys could be saying, oh, they still have AD. Well, AD's been pretty injury prone, and without another star, we've seen what AD did in NOLA, right? So the Lakers need to capitalize right now, and they need to make more championship moves, which means like trading their young stars, or not, I can't even say stars, but young guys like Kuzma and THT.